Okay, now with the horns, I'm going to do mine slightly different this time. I'm going to use the yellowy colour that I had. I think actually the horns that I coloured in on my first myrtle were a little bit dark. Okay, so a nice yellow base, and then using my light brown around the edges, add sort of an edge of light brown, starting quite dark and then pressing much more gently the further in I get, and then again on this side here. Same. Okay, so there's one horn there. Quickly do the same on the other side for you. Now the great thing about creating your own myrtle or your own Highland cow, you can name it whatever you like, and also you can make it your own. If you want the horns to be a little bit darker, you can. Giving you the tips. And actually this time I'm making mine a little bit different because I've learnt from last time what I want to change, and that's okay. We don't always get everything right the first time. I'm just actually using my pencil strokes in a different direction to give that impression of a rounded horn. I'm bringing them in a little bit, just like so. Okay, so when it comes to colouring in your cow's hair, if you want to make it the same as my rainbow myrtle, you can see here's my painted one for those of you that have chosen to paint, and my colouring pencil one. You can follow a similar pattern. Don't worry too much about getting the exact same colours, but just use the lines to guide you as to where the different colours would need to be. But it might be that you want to make your cow a bluey purple cow. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate for you now, because you can use these colours here to help you. It's actually exactly the same techniques as if you were going to do a rainbow cow. So I'm going to take this section here. As you can see, the line doesn't go all the way up, but I'll use that line to guide me. Now the key is to make sure nice and bold. But actually, again, to add a little bit of interest like I did on the nose, I'm going to make the edges nice and dark. Allowing it to get a little bit lighter in the central part of that piece of hair. Now you'll see that when I painted my cow, I actually then added some white highlights. So that's a bit of a tip for those of you that are using paint. So I've used the purple there, so now what I'm going to do is, actually before I move on to a different colour, I'm going to add a different strand of purple here, just to give you the idea. And then there as well, and then this one here I think I'll make purple. Wow, Okay, now I'm going to pick up a darkish blue, because I think purples and blue go well together. So again, dark around the edge, light as we go in, the centre of it. This one here I think I'll make a blue as well. And then I think I'm going to pick up a light blue just to come down this edge here. Well, it's getting a little bit dark. I want hers to still look nice and bright. Dark around the edge. And lighter on the inside. To do another light blue here. Light on the inside, and then I'm going to pick up this blue here. For this one that's in between the light blue and the purple. So you can see how I'm starting to create a very differently coloured Highland cow. So you might choose to do different shades of green, some yellows and oranges might work well together, maybe some reds and pinks would look pretty, but that is completely up to you. Now also, if you want to have something in your cow's mouth, I've done a daisy here, but maybe you might like to have a paintbrush in your cow's mouth. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. So we just have the end poking out here. And make sure it lines up. Imagine there's an imaginary line across your cow's nose to make the end. So I'm going to make mine little paintbrush. Maybe have some drips of paint hanging off. And then I might make those drips purples and blues to match this cow's colours. Now if you were choosing to do a slightly shaggier looking moo cow, you can use exactly the same technique. You might like to make yours a bit more realistic and use some browns and yellows, so I'll just quickly show you how you could do that. Now again, remembering that you would need to colour, use a pen to go over your pencil lines first before you did this. Okay, so there's some dark, medium brown, and then I might add a darker brown. So you can be as creative as you like to make your own original Highland cow. Now it'd be wonderful to see your creations along with their names that you decide to give them. Hopefully this video has inspired to get creating. Okay, so hopefully you get the idea. So you could have a rainbow Highland cow like my myrtle coloured in. You could maybe use paint like this one here. You could use a colour theme, so a selection of colours that work well together, or you could create a scruffier Highland cow. You can choose what you want to put in your Highland cow's mouth. It's completely up to you. Like I said, it would be fantastic to see what you've produced. Thank you for watching.